Today we are going to make a box and whisker plots foldable. It will look like this when you get done. But before you get started, I want you to watch a short video about what box and whisker plots are. You learned about this in 6th grade, but it might have been a while. So take a quick view.
Represents the highest and lowest value in the data set. In this case, the upper extreme is 32 and the lower extreme is 5. The last piece of information I need is the median. That another median is the data set. So I want from the outside in so I get the middle value. In this case, 17 is the median. The final piece of information that I need is what's called the upper and lower quartile. With the splitting data set at the median into upper and lower regions. Now, the upper quartile is just the median of that upper region of the numbers, which is 20, and the lower quartile is the median of that lower region of those three numbers, which is 10. So we can say that upper quartile is 20 and the lower quartile is 10. Now we have all the information that we need to construct our box and whisker plot. So we're going to start with a number line that fits our data. Our upper and lower extremes are 5 and 32, as well as our median value of 17, and the values of the upper and lower quartiles. In this example, that's 20. So as these points are elevated and above the number, our first step is to construct two vertical lines through the upper and lower quartiles. We use these lines to construct a rectangular line and fold in the median point. And through that median point, we construct a vertical line. This represents the box in our box and whisker plot. And the final step is to draw horizontal lines that connect the upper quartile to the upper extreme and the lower quartile to the lower extreme. And notice that the graph itself is broken up into 4 different quadrants, each representing 25% of the whole. What you're probably thinking is, how can we use this graph to evaluate Jordan's basketball performance? Now, for example, by looking at the extremes, we can see that it's probably unrealistic to expect Jordan in an average game to score anything that is high of 32 points or as low of 5 points. Now, based on those extremes, you may think that Jordan is an inconsistent player. But if we look at the area inside the box, this is called the interquartile range, we can say that in an average game, Jordan will score between 10 and 20 points. And coach can use this information to determine whether or not Jordan belongs in the starting lineup or on the bench. He can also use the box and whisker plot to compare Jordan's performance with the performance of the players.
So now we're back to your foldable. On this side, we don't have to do any writing, and we're not actually going to do anything with this side until we're ready to cut. So please move down or move to the other side of the page, and I'll move down. So the first thing I want you to write is this definition of what a box and whisker plot is. A box and whisker plot is used to show the spread and variability of a set of data. A box and whisker plot divides the data into 4 parts using the 5 data points shown to the right. You may want to pause this and copy it down. I'm going to scroll to the right so you can see the points. So go ahead and pause if you haven't finished writing. And let me zoom out a little bit. Okay. So finally, I'm at the right place. This is the plot to the right. All we need you to do is label what the points mean. This first value is the least value. On the video you just watched, I think it was called the lower extreme. Those are 2 ways of saying it. this will be your lowest value. The first quartile is what they showed you on the video. So between the lowest value and the first quartile is 25% of the data. 50% of the data fall within this box here. And this is the median. This is the third quartile, sometimes referred to as the upper quartile. And then this is the greatest value, or the extreme value. Make sure you get all of that, and then I'm going to pause the video and move down. So here's our first example to try. The numbers have already been put in order for you, but if you do your own, you have to show them in the right order. So list them in the right order first, from least to greatest. So we know right now our least number is 19. Make sure you label it, please. We also know our greatest number is 59. Make sure you label that too. If we count to the middle, there are 4 numbers to the right, there are 4 numbers to the left of 33. So the number 33 is the median, or the number in the middle. Now, after we've circled 33, we're only going to work with the numbers to the left first. And there are 4 numbers on the left, which means there is no 1 number in the very middle. So what we have to do is take 23 and 29 and find the middle of those two. And the way we find the middle of those two numbers is to find the mean. So we would add 23 plus 29, and we would get 52. And 52 divided by the 2 numbers we added together is 26. So the mean of those 2 numbers is 26. So right now we have our least, or our lower extreme. We have our first quartile, or lower quartile. We have our median. And now we're going to do the same exact thing with the upper numbers. Again, there are 4, so there's not a number right in the middle. We take 42 and 47 and we add them together. And we would get 89. Half of 89 is 44.5. So please make sure you've labeled all of these. Now I'm going to scroll over to the right so we can make the box and whisker plot. Notice the first number is our lower extreme. That's our first number. The upper extreme, which I believe was 59, is the end of this. That means from this first dot to the second dot, we're 25% of the pieces of data. From the box here contains, the entire box contains 50% of the data, and the median is right here. And then the upper whisker provides another 25% of the data. So just to remember what we had for numbers, we found 33 was the median. So the first thing you're going to do is make a dot above the 33. There's a dot, I believe it's above 19. Is it 19? Let me scroll over and look. Yep, 19. Then we found the first quartile, and then we found the third quartile. After you make all 5 dots, very simple, take the 3 in the middle, make a box around those 2, and then a line through the median number. That's it. Again, with example 2, the numbers have been put in order for us. The difference is that there are only 8 pieces of data, so there's not going to be a number right in the middle. First, let's identify the least. The smallest number, or the least, is 1. The greatest number is 11. So if you want to, go ahead and plot those points to the right on your number line. Then we have to find the very median. Well, we have 4 numbers here to the right, we have 4 numbers to the left, but we don't have a number in the very center. So we take 6 and 7 and we add them together. Hopefully you know 6 plus 7 is 13. Half of 13 is going to be 6.5. If you don't believe me, try it on your calculators. So go ahead and plot 6.5 on your number line to the right. And we have to find the lower, or the first quartile. And we count 2 numbers here, 2 numbers there, so there's no number in the middle. What's what's in the middle of 2 and 3? It's 2.5. If you don't believe me, 2 plus 3 is 5. Half of 5 is 2.5. So go ahead and plot that on your number line to the right. Same thing with the numbers on the right. To find our third quartile, we add 8 and 9. We get 18, half of that is 9. So the third quartile, or upper quartile, is 9. Plot that point on your number line too, and then go ahead and draw your box and whisker while I scroll over. I'm hoping your box and whisker looks like this one here. Now that you know how to draw them, you're not going to have to draw them too often, but you really need to know what they all mean. Sorry about that. You know now that 25% of the data is between the first two dots. Everything below the box, this upper edge of the box with the third quartile, is 75% of the data. Inside the box is 50% of the data. So that means between each set of points is about 25%. They're broken up into 4 sets. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how it works. Go ahead and try the next example on your own, and then I will show you the solution. So to wrap this up, here is a picture of example 2, which we just did together, but you can see it again if you had trouble. And example 3, I'm hoping you did on your own, so you can check your work against mine. Please also note that, let me move this out of the way here, when you have a box and whisker plot, the numbers on the bottom need to be evenly spaced. I don't know if that makes any sense to you or not. But if you notice, this number line here is between 0 and 12 that goes up by 1s. The number line at the bottom here, we went up by 2s. That seemed to be the most obvious way to list this. 78's the median, the least is 66, the greatest is 88, the first quartile is 68, and the third quartile is 85. Once you have your stuff filled out, the next thing I want you to do is go look at this picture. Remember what we're doing. You're going to fold this page over so that box and whisker plots shows up on the edge, and then you're going to cut on the dotted line. So when you get done, you kind of have a flip book, so to speak. When you are done, submit this through your video on Schoology. Nice job.